This week, a walking recap of episode 2 of season 7. Aaron watched Doctor Strange in 4D Smell-O-Vision. He gives us a lowdown. Mass Effect Andromeda comes out with an official trailer. Looks awesome. Hope EA doesn't screw it up. This is Modern Retro. And welcome back to Modern Retro, episode... Ready? Wait for it. Give me a drum beat. 10.
Dun 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 dun.
I'm gonna have
dun,
to.
dun, dun.
Yeah. Gonna add echo to that 10. Not that like it's any major milestone. Hey, actually, it is a pretty good milestone because I am Cuba. I'm joined via the internet by Aaron in the closet, and
Yep, that's me.
Sitting across from me is not Roy. So that's why episode 10 is a milestone, because we're trading off until that like once a month we're all actually in the same room. That's what it feels like.
I like that this way. Like, we can look at the downloads and see who likes who the most. It's a popularity contest, sir.
No,
I plan to win.
It's all erratic. It's all erratic because our last week's episode, where all of us were in the same room, didn't get nearly as many downloads as I really hoped for, and that was a good one. Damn it, go listen to it. ModernRetrocast.com, and you can hear our Halloween episode where we talk about what the hell do we talk about? We talked about costumes and parties and Walking Dead and Halloween movies.
Yep.
Damn it.
Oh, that was a good one.
It was a good one. Yeah, you know, people are fickle. Yeah. Well, this week we are not ready, as we usually are. Hey, you know, that's the point of this podcast. We are like I wrote on I describe it on several different websites and services. It's
With
like
poor
it's
grammar
like,
and spelling.
Just shut up. That's what you guys are my spell check for. Or Roy, as he calls himself, the wordsmith. And it's been a month, and I still don't have any bios for the About Us section of the website that he said he would write last weekend, 2 weekends ago.
He's busy not going to your other invites.
Yeah, I know. Busy not doing stuff. No. Like I said, this podcast is it's like drinks with your nerdy geek friends, because that's what it is. We're just a bunch of friends, and we're just here to shoot the shit, and we hope everybody enjoys it. And maybe you'll go away learning something, or you'll go away angry. Either way, you're gonna pass the time at work. You know, a good solid hour and a half, however long these generally go. Boom, gone, and then you can continue on your work day. Your terrible work day. This week we got this is going to be kind of yours, because you're going to give us the review on two things that I have not seen. We're going to have our walking recap of episode 2 of this season's Walking Dead so far.
Yes.
And you went to go see Doctor Strange.
I did.
Which one do you want to start off with?
I will start off with The Walking Dead because it's the quickest.
It stunk.
No,
okay.
not at all. Spoilers.
Oh, yes. Spoilers. We are so used to just talking about shit and spoiling it that we always forget to say spoilers. So we gotta remember to do that.
Yes. So skip ahead, and hopefully you don't hear a spoiler while you're trying to figure out what time code actually stops the spoiling.
I'll put it in right now. We're at 3:30, so that's when you stop, and I'll tell you when to restart.
It's just gonna interrupt this recording right here and go, please go to time code 1 minute 2.
Flip to tape side B.
Yeah, exactly. Do that.
All right, so what was this episode about? Last episode, they bashed in Glenn's head and everybody forgot about Abraham.
Yep, so this is the other people, the ones that you completely forgot all about. Carol and what's the black guy's name?
Dead meat.
The one with the stick.
Oh, no. Morgan.
So Carol and Morgan.
Is he the only black guy on the show now? They only have that quota of one black guy per season, or that one black guy can be living. There can be only one. So.
I think there's one other one, but he isn't like a main character yet.
And once he reaches main character status, and they give him a name. Once they give him a name, he's gone.
I don't think he dies in the comics until the war.
Ah, yes.
So, but this guy already died a while ago. We don't know what the fuck happened to him, right? So
Morgan in the
Yeah.
comics, yeah, he died a while ago.
yeah, so it's all good gravy from
And
here.
Carol too. So it's funny that they're together. You know, wherever they are now in the show, because they've both been long dead in the comics.
I like it. Like you said, they've all been long dead in the comics, but because they didn't kill him in the TV show, they go forward and they have the best character arcs. These are easily the two best characters that The Walking Dead has, and it's because they have like no future. There's nothing, like, it's all new. But the actors that play them as well are like, you've been with them through this entire journey, so just seeing them transform into like these different characters, they have an actual arc, and it's good TV. So this episode,
Well, Carol, they made her into female Rambo,
yeah,
which is, I mean, you couldn't get more different from her comic book counterpart, who is just like a very weak, abused, like almost, she at the end she was like mentally unstable and like killed herself via zombie suicide. And then Morgan in the comic, after he killed his he didn't kill his son, he let his son go, and then like the son, I don't know, he didn't kill his wife, and the wife turned the son into a zombie, and then he couldn't kill the son, and then he just kind of became like almost like a pathetic kind of broken man. And now in the show he's like a fucking samurai or something.
seriously, it's Legends of Kung Fu with Carol. It's fantastic.
It's weird.
So they end up finding their way to the kingdom, and it's a funny dynamic because you have
What's the kingdom, Aaron?
The kingdom is run by King Ezekiel, and it is basically another safe haven where there's a community of people that like live in peace. They farm, they do all this other stuff, but they're also under the thumb of what's his face, Negan. So they also have horses too. So it's this is why the episode. So this episode, while it's very slow, there's not a lot of action or anything going on. It's purely character based. But this is one of the character episodes that like sticks with you. So it has like this magic quality to it. So there's a fucking kingdom in the zombie apocalypse. Like, it has this lighthearted kind of thing going on, and you see King Ezekiel, and he's that old Shakespearean kind of king, like, oh, my wards, come hither. Like,
I mean, wouldn't you if you like the world ended and you established like a little settlement kingdom and like you labeled yourself king? I would totally do that.
So you've thrown like these two characters who have seen the worst of humanity, and they're the most like jaded of the bunch out of their entire group, and you throw them into this magical land of whimsy, and they're all like, yeah. So it's really funny when Morgan's introducing Carol to it, because Carol's obviously the worst. She doesn't trust anyone. Everything's awful. She's got to fight to the bitter end. She's in a wheelchair because she got her like leg all fucked up or something like that. I forget what happened to her, but fucking what's his face? Shit, I'm brain farting. What's his name again? The black guy.
Morgan. God damn it.
Morgan's wheeling her to the king, and she's like, well, who's the king? And he goes, well, he does his own thing. Like, he can definitely tell you he's fucking nuts. But I'm gonna save you the wonderment of actually getting to see him in person. Like, there's that whole thing playing out, and it's fantastic, because then Carol goes into her, oh, hi, king. Like, she's very nice and like happy about it.
Oh yeah, because just like what she was when they first got to Alexandria, how she pretended to be like oh, I don't know how to use a gun type thing, right?
Exactly. So she does that whole thing like to the extreme. So you see her playing that card. The special effects on the tiger, though, fantastic. And there's like a little back and forth of like the tiger goes to attack her, gives her like the evil eye, and he's like, no, kitty. And like,
it's not a real tiger, it's a CG tiger.
It might be a CG, I mean, all CG tiger, but the special effects are fantastic. I don't know if they did a mix of, like, maybe they had the tiger body, but they superimposed a fake head. I don't know. But it looks fantastic. And there's, like, some inner workings of, like, how the kingdom prepare their offerings to Negan. And they, like, go and search out these pigs that are hiding in the city and make them eat decaying zombie meat before they give it to the people who take them for Negan. So there's that. That's that.
But they show that doesn't change you into a zombie or anything.
No, but it's more of like a hey, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like pissing in their lemonade.
Yeah, exactly. So like you get that kind of whole dynamic. So they've dealt with Negan. They don't like him just as much as any other people. So it sets all that kind of up, and then that whole thing plays out with like you see the community. Carol's trying to deal with the community. She still wants to get out, and the night that she goes to take off, King Ezekiel happens upon whatever garden she's stealing food from, and he's like, never bullshit a bullshitter. So he has that whole Michonne scene that he does in the comic books where he's like, look, I used to do community
I actually haven't
theater.
gotten that far. But
Oh, well,
yeah.
Anyway, he has a dialogue with Michonne where he's just like, I used to work at a zoo as a zookeeper, like...
Does he like drop his accent and has like a deep New York Brooklyn accent or something?
It's not that he has like a little. He just goes a little bit thuggish, so it's like theater thug. So he's like, fucking. I worked at a zoo. I did a little bit of community theater, like some Shakespeare. This tiger, like I helped. It like it was gonna bleed to death, and I put my coat around it to save its life, and it's never like lifted its paw against me at all. So, it never attacks me. So people, they start making up stories of how this guy got a fucking tiger, and then people start following you. And I figured I'd play the part. So you get to see that whole like heartfelt dynamic of like her kind of like, oh, okay, like I see where you're coming from. You're not a bad guy. And at the end of the episode, she moves out into one of the houses that's outside of the kingdom, but still fairly close, so she can still be away from everyone, but still have her own kind of thing going on. Mm-hmm. And he shows up at the end of the episode with the tiger at her doorstep, at her door, and is like, "Can I come in?" So now there's like
bring a little bit of flowers and some smooth jazz music.
So the first episode was just gut-wrenching, especially if you don't follow the comics. It was just like, oh my god, what did they do? So it took that and it was like, okay, we're going to slow down. This is a perfect, slow-paced, intriguing character episode. So it fit in very well. They're doing good so far. I haven't watched the third episode yet, but...
Well, that's okay, because we're going to podcast again in 2 days.
Okay, then I'll try and get it done.
All right, so you say they're kind of keeping on track this season. I know, again, for the listeners, I'm a full season behind, and I'm in a weird position where the show is starting to pass me where I left off in the comics. I have the Compendium 3 upstairs. I just need to devote the 6 hours of sitting down and reading that baby. But
I usually put on a Mass Effect in the background and play it. Some Bear McCreary.
Oh yeah, there's some good ambiance and
yep.
It
usually lines up perfectly well
nice
too.
glass of whiskey and
like when the war came with Negan, it, like all of a sudden Battlestar Galactica came up and it was like bump 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 bump.
There's awesome Celtic war drums. Yeah, so it's weird for me because from the very beginning, I'm the one yelling at the show, going, "This is wrong. It's not supposed to be that way. They don't do that." And then I'll give the show credit that when it does it right, it's good. They do a good job. When they go off the path of the comic, they have a terrible writing staff and they can't make up their own shit. It's usually really stupid. So I have not watched season 6 yet, and you guys told me that it was good. It was back, like it got back on track. So would you say that this season is continuing that good streak?
Yes.
All right. I was going to say, I'm like, say yes, because they can't see you nod.
I have not been disappointed this season.
Right. And it's because they're mostly following the comics.
Which is great. It's great.
Right, exactly.
Well, I mean, yeah, for the most part, the major plot turns, yes, they're following the comic, but they're adding in their own sprinkle of, like, dialogue here and there. So,
well, no, I mean, that's fine. I have nothing against that. That's fine. But, you have the comics as your template, and you can build around that. But when they go off in their own ideas that just has nothing to do with anything in the comics. They just make it up. That's when the show is at its absolute worst. It's just totally just stupid. Because I feel like they're like, I have a good idea, but it's not really a good idea. And then someone else goes, yeah, it's a great idea. And then like a suit comes in and says, let's make this idea lamer. And then they do it.
No,
It's
they
like,
go,
wow,
how much is that going to cost?
yeah. It's like, yeah, don't do it. And the thing that sticks out in my mind the most was, I think before they got to Alexandria in season 5, I think, when they were still on the road, and it was like they're in like a barn at night or something like that, and then like a hurricane came, I think, maybe.
Yep.
I'm not sure, but like a bunch of zombies started coming, and they all like, everybody was pushing against the barn door, so they couldn't get in, and it was shot really weird and trippy, and you thought it was a dream sequence because it builds up and builds up, and it gets loud and loud and loud and loud, and then it stops and it's silent, and they're like all asleep, all nice and peaceful. And then when they go outside, all the trees everywhere are completely uprooted and smashed, and there's zombie bits everywhere, and zombies stuck in the trees, and it's like, what the literal fuck just happened? It's like they shot it like a dream, but it really
right
happened.
here on Gilligan's
Exactly. I mean, that never happened in the comics. And again, you don't have to follow the comics religiously, but that's just an example of a shit. It's not even a shitty idea. It's a great idea that you're stuck in this little cabin when a hurricane strikes, but to shoot it like it's a dream sequence is confusing as hell. Yeah, I that might have been the point where this show like lost me. I finished out the rest of that season, but every episode I'm like, this fucking piece of shit. They gotta make this fucking shit up to me. I don't know. That pissed me off.
Yeah, I mean they got better.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. So bucket of
Doctor
fucks.
Strange?
How many fucks? Good.
I'm definitely saying bucket so far. As a bucket
Did
of
we
fucks so far.
give last episode's recap a fuck rating?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think we did.
I'll say both episodes so far. Bucket of fucks.
All right. And a bucket of fucks, for those who aren't aware, is we rate television and movies when we review them by how many fucks are given by the people making it. One fuck means they clearly don't give a fuck, and I guess a bucket of fuck would be about 10 fucks, because I guess 10 fucks fit in a bucket. So I mean that's my theory behind it. So the first 2 episodes of this season 7, 2 full buckets of fuck.
Yep.
Sounds good to me. All right, so moving on. Doctor Strange. You saw Doctor Strange in
did.
4D smell-o-vision.
Yep. So my theater, Showcase Theater in Randolph, offers 4D, and basically what that means is, like those Disney rides that you see, like Bug's Life or something like that, you're sitting in motion seats that jostle you back and forth. There's little things that poke you in the ass and poke you in the back.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun.
If you're sitting in the wrong place, it could really be bad. So
What if you go watch like a Saw movie in 4D?
Oh man. So I'll get there. So it also shoots jets at your face. There's speakers and a subwoofer, and there's smell-o-vision. It turns your movie into a ride. So instead of like those little 15-minute things at Disney, this is a 2-hour movie of that.
That's impressive. I have to. You've intrigued me. I kind of want to see something in 4D now. I haven't even heard of that like advertised 4D.
I absolutely vote Doctor Strange for this 4D experience. It was fantastic.
Out of any movie out right now, you would recommend Doctor Strange to bust the 4D cherry?
Well, see, the 4D
or would you want something a little lighter fare?
4D. Well, you're skipping around. 4D doesn't affect every movie. They don't have every movie in 4D. There's only one particular out of the week that they'll choose for 4D.
Oh.
Maybe 2 if there's like 2 blockbusters out, but it's usually the blockbuster. So
Okay.
Doctor Strange is like It's probably one of the best origins since Iron Man, the original Iron Man. And
Okay. Now, do you have a synapse? Do you have like a
yeah, I'm getting there.
IMDb?
I'm getting there, man. Jeez, I'm getting there.
Okay.
It has to do with Dr. Stephen Strange, and he's like a cocky. He's basically House from that show. Just a cocky, like kind of a doctor. Walks around, kind of knows everything. Oh well, if they can't do it, I can do that. No one can do that. That's impossible. And he does it. He's that kind of a neurosurgeon. He gets in his overpriced car, and this is kind of cool. So,
spoilers.
So the thing about this 4D thing that really fucked me. So when the Marvel thing comes up, like the Marvel logo,
with like the comic book pages and like
the
swirling
thing.
about. Yeah.
So you know how you kind of feel kind of isolated when you put those IMAX 3D glasses on, like it just kind of puts you in a box. So you're in this box and you're watching how that's the first 3D thing that kind of pops at you. Is the logo, but your chair starts slowly leaning in. I felt like I'm like, what the fuck's happening? So it like sucks you into the Marvel logo. It was fantastic. But anyway, it kind of goes flat for like the beginning opening scenes where they're kind of introducing Doctor Strange in the office building and stuff like that. I mean, the hospital. But then there's one point where
Does it smell like a hospital?
I think it won't. They go, psst, and it's just like rubber. It just smells like rubber.
It smells like disinfectant.
I'm not sure if the seat was malfunctioning or burning rubber
this
wires
hospital
coming
smells
out.
like a car fire.
So he takes off in like his super Lamborghini, and he's like talking to some guy about what next operation he's gonna do to up his career, that kind of thing. And it's cool when like the car takes off, the chair like jets back, so it's almost like boom kind of thing. And as he's driving along the windy highways, the seats are moving back and forth.
Is there like a warning before this movie? Like, are children not allowed into these
there's
things?
no children in the theater. You have
no
to be
heart
at least,
conditions.
You have to be at least 41 inches to ride this ride. Like, there's that kind of stipulation.
Okay, that's because I was saying, like, I've gone on things like this before, like Mom, a similar thing at Six Flags, and then like a Little Mermaid thing that was similar to this in Disney, like many years ago. And each one of those, it was like, yeah, you have to be a certain height. You can't have asthma, heart conditions, or any of that stuff.
But also the cool thing about it, I mean, it's not cool, but the price for the movie ticket is $20.
So it's like $5 more than IMAX.
Exactly. But you know that if you're going to pay $20 for a fucking movie, you're going there to enjoy the goddamn movie. Not one person was like, oh my God! Like, I had no bad audience members. And I went to Randolph, which is known for its very loud urban, demographic. Like, there was no freaking people yelling anything at the screen. Like, even like you're in jostled seats, you'd think it'd be like, oh Jesus, like something. Like,
well, yeah, they're too busy being thrown around and smelling burning tires.
You'd think that would escalate the situation to be even more louder. But no, these are people who actually enjoyed the movie. They paid this much money to go see this movie, have this experience, and it was great. So, anyway, he gets into a car accident, which that was crazy because this little thing's poking my ass. It's like his car's flipping around and stuff like that.
There was a guy above me dropping a bucket of glass.
Well, it's cool because like once the impact happens, like the strobe lights go off in the theater, that kind of thing. So there's actual strobe lights that just like poof, so it feels like it's happening around you. There's like little smoke ejectors that come out of the front of the theater.
This sounds crazy.
It's really fun. So, he gets his hands crushed, basically. So he wakes up and he's all fucked up, and he looks at his hands, and they're all in pins and needles, bunch of steel in all his joints and everything. And turns out that he can't like be a doctor anymore. His fucking hands shake like crazy because he's got severe nerve damage. So he tries everything.
He can be a strange doctor.
So he hears about this story where this guy had a broken back, and all of a sudden he just like stopped coming to his physical therapy sessions, and then the guy who did his physical therapy just saw him on the side of the road walking by. He's like, it can be done. So he tracks that guy down, and this guy says, I went to this mountain that Batman went to, and
Batman?
No, like I went to this fucking monastery, and they trained me how to like use my mind to do things, whatever. So he finds the monastery by going to Indonesia or Nepal or something to find some hoodoo priestess that can Eastern medicine the fuck out of him to fix his hands. He goes in and it's very like kind of Matrixy. There's like the what's her name? The bald chick.
Oh yeah, she's really creepy looking, like in
Yeah.
every single thing she's in.
Yeah.
She was the witch in Lion, the Witch in the Wardrobe, and the bad angel in Constantine.
Yeah,
I have
just-
no idea what the actress's name is, but she's got no eyebrows, and it freaks me the fuck out.
Doctor Strange, master actress.
She just does weird roles. No, not weird role. I mean, she's a great actress, but there's something unsettling to look at about her.
Rachel McAdams? No.
No, that's no.
That's the chick from what's her face? From the Notebook.
Yeah. She was in that movie too.
Yes. She's like the sort of love interest. All right, Grandmaster. Where are you? Grandmaster. Damn it.
You're killing our air time. Somebody's got to keep talking. Let's see. Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton, that's the one.
Yeah, Jesus. It took me like 2 seconds. What the hell are you looking up?
I don't know, Wikipedia. I'm on some fucking link. I have to read the whole Wikipedia just to find out one goddamn name.
Yes, her.
Okay, so she's basically telling him like, you came here to see the world, like find a world that can help you with your hands, and as soon as you find out that is possible, you're like, no, science. So, which is, it's probably like the biggest flaw of the movie is he's very like, yeah, he is a doctor, but I'll get to the negatives after. So,
Okay.
so he gets his third eye opened up by this chick, and this is where the fucking 4D goes mental. So you see it in the trailer where like she touches him, and all the background just kind of turns into like a tunnel. Mm-hmm. It fucking Doctor Who's him. Well, that continues for about 2 more minutes, where he's flying through every possible reality. Like, he looks at his hands, and then his fingers become hands, and then his fingers on those fingers become hands. Like, it's so fucked up, like, psychedelic, crazy shit that happens in the sequence, and your chair is loving the fuck out of it. It's, like, moving you all around. It's fucking shooting air blasts at you.
Is it like blasting little puffs of weed at you?
Not weed, but blasting something. It was, like, all of a sudden you hear like around you. Like the strobe lights are going crazy. It was fantastic. And he comes back and he's like, oh my god, that was like amazing, teach me. And she goes, no,
I know Kung Fu.
He's like, basically he's like, teach me all you know. And she's like, nah. And she kicks him out onto the street.
I have to go conquer Narnia.
Eventually, he comes back, and they don't really distinguish how much time he spends here. Like, there isn't that, like, 13 years later. But they make a comment in the beginning, like, oh, how did you become a doctor? And he's like, years of practice. But they don't really show that. All of a sudden, like, he's having trouble in one scene with magic, and then the next scene, he's kind of okay.
All right.
And it seems like he's been there a while. Like, they have a shave scene that I think is supposed to depict the time passing.
Wait, so he went back to being a doctor after he had this psychedelic trip?
No, he doesn't go back.
Oh, okay. So
He-
he what,
he
just...
He basically sat out in the street for 6 days until they let him in, and then he trained as the guru
Okay.
until then. But they don't say, like, how long he was there to master these skills.
A girl is nobody. A girl is no one. Game of Thrones!
no.
Oh, you haven't got that far yet, have you?
No, I stopped watching that shit.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Continue.
I have to get off at 9. I'm just letting you know that.
Dude, it's not my business when you gotta get off.
So, yeah, there's like this whole, like, the special effects in this movie are insane. There's a point where when he's mastered his skills and he's gotten his little flotation cloak, I won't spoil everything, but he's got his cloak on that helps him levitate, and he's fighting the baddie, they're fucking doing some Matrix Inception shit where the cities are folding in on themselves and they're jumping onto those buildings and like running through them. And I don't know if you ever played Quantum Break, but like time freezes and there's like platforms that they need to jump to in the game. It's like that. So these jump in and then have you ever played Portal? It's exactly like that.
So you paid $20 to go watch Portal the movie.
Live Portal the movie in 4D. It was fantastic. So the ending, they are fighting this big fucking guy that lives in the dark dimension with there's no time in the dark dimension, and to defeat them, right before the Earth like gets destroyed, to defeat them, he flies up into the dark dimension, and he has this really funny sequence with the villain. Who's
what is the motivation of the villain? What's he trying to do? Typical conquer the world, or
he's trying to
conquer the minds?
No, he's trying to bring the planet into this dark dimension so it can live forever.
Okay.
But the dark dimension entity basically just feeds off the fucking planet, and everyone dies anyway. So it's like this big...
Is that supposed to be like Galactus, even though they don't have the rights to Galactus? Nah, I mean, I know nothing about Doctor Strange.
No,
so
I
have
this,
no idea what his bad guys are.
Yeah, I think this is a pre-existing bad guy that, like, I don't know Doctor Strange either, but he's I watch like a thing of like things you should know about Doctor Strange before you go in there, and yeah, this is a pre-existing bad guy, so on and so forth. That's my only real gripe with the movie. Is the ending sequence is about 10 minutes long, and I didn't feel anything. There was no gravity to the situation. It was like cool up until that point, and then it was like, oh, you're just like, you have this funny scene at the end that defeats the bad guy, but I don't really know that bad guy because you didn't really present him in any other fashion but right now. So I don't know, it took a little bit away from it.
So I mean, it was more of a I guess it focused more on his origin story than really who he's fighting.
Yes, and it does it in a way that's different than we've ever seen it, to a degree. Like, I mean, I guess you could say Batman is similar, where like he goes to a guru, learns all this shit, and now's a superhero. But this is still, he's cutting his teeth with his powers, and he's still like, he's got a little bit of the Iron Man snark in him. So there's a lot of funny moments, but it also, I think, all in all, great movie. I'll say bucket of fucks. Definitely go see it, especially in 4D.
Really, you're giving it a bucket of fucks? That's and we can't sling buckets just all freely. I mean,
all right.
We have to give the people an honest assessment of how many fucks are given into these.
You
movies.
will not have a bad time with Doctor Strange. I think. It is a
you
solid.
Don't take the 4D out of it.
Okay.
Based on the film and the story, not your experience.
Okay.
And you can maybe add a fuck for the experience, but no fucks for experience. Like, cause,
all right, I got it. Shut
moving
up.
chairs
Shut
and
up.
shit is
Shut up.
no. Okay,
If you're seeing it in 4D, bucket of fucks. If you're not seeing it in 4D, I'd give it 8 or 9 fucks. It's a good time.
That's still high praise of fucks.
No, it's a solid fuck. It's a solid goddamn movie that you're gonna have fun at. The part where it falls apart is if you kind of look at it, and I'm picky. So with a movie like this is probably one of the most anticipated Marvel movies I've had. For Doctor Strange. Yes.
Why?
I don't know Doctor Strange, but I did fall into like the shamanist kind of mindset back in the day. So I know a lot about, psychedelic Eastern culture.
Eating mushrooms and masturbating on your couch is not falling into shamanistic psychedelic ways.
No, fuck you. I was on a path to try and find enlightenment through Eastern culture and metaphysical means. So,
thank you, Google.
And The Matrix and Inception are among some of my favorite movies, and this had the mysticalness and the technology behind it to be fucking amazing. Like, they could have went in some directions in this movie that could have been so fucking cool. So when he gets his third eye opened and he goes through all the dimensions and shit, and then his hands turn into multiple hands, that was where I wanted this movie to go a little bit more. So there should have been more kind of psychedelic experiences in this movie that relate to metaphysical and mystical means. Where it falls apart is because it's in the Marvel pantheon, so it has to kind of follow a formula of like hero and all that stuff. So it's definitely not a bad movie, but if it wasn't attached to Marvel, it could have been a more artistic film with a superhero kind of premise. Kind of a mix maybe between Butterfly Effect and Donnie Darko, kind of crazy. It could have been that dark and twisted and, just odd to think about. But because it's Marvel, it has to follow that, hero, villain, I got powers, defeat the villain kind of thing.
Now, what are its Marvel connections? Like, clearly there's got to be Easter eggs in there that they threw in to let you know, like, hey, this is connected to everything else that Marvel's doing.
So, yeah, I mean, they say in the trailer and in the movie, the Avengers fight against more physical threats. We fight against the mystical. So there's a point that... So they don't come into any of the Marvel stuff during the movie. It's just kind of known that the Avengers exist.
So it's just like the Netflix shows. They say, like... in Nick Cage, the dude selling the bootleg DVDs on the street. He's like, we got the Green Monster, and we got the Metal Man, and the blonde dude with the hammer.
Exactly. So there's that. But at the end credit scene, or the mid-credit scene, I'll say, that's when they tie it into the rest of the Marvel Universe.
How do they?
So...
I already know because I just read it.
Well, it shows Doctor Strange talking to Thor. And Thor's like,
damn,
tea?
the big guns.
I don't drink tea. And he goes, well, what do you drink? And then, like, it flashes to Doctor Strange, and it flashes back to Thor, and he's got a giant fucking thing of beer in his hands. He's like, And he starts to sip it, and then it goes to Doctor Strange talking about mystical things and how Asgard, like, he's going to go back to Asgard if Doctor Strange helps him. And they flash back to Thor, and his beer's almost empty. And then it fills back up again. And then he just basically goes... all right, I'll come with you. And then, like, he stands up and that scene ends. So he might be in Thor Ragnarok or something to that effect.
He's probably going to be in Infinity, in the Infinity War.
Well, he's definitely going to be in Infinity War. There's no doubt about that. But, I mean, like, he might make an appearance in Thor Ragnarok. I don't know yet. I don't know what that entirely means. It could be just Infinity War or it could be Ragnarok.
Well, you're missing... You omitted a very important thing about the eye and what it is.
Oh, so the eye that helps him control time, which is one of the major plot points in the middle and end of the movie, turns out to be an Infinity Stone. And they're just like,
the Time Stone.
Not many people can handle an Infinity Stone. They just kind of throw that out there, and he's like, say what? And then it ends.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up, because it's like, hey... friggin' Guardian of the Galaxy motherfucker over there could barely hold an Infinity Stone.
That was the Power Stone. So I mean,
so that's more powerful.
They're different. The Loki handled the Mind Stone. I just figure that the Power Stone, obviously being the most unstable one, is probably the one that you shouldn't physically touch. But the Time Stone, the Mind Stone, which is in Vision's forehead, is the Mind Stone, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's like. I forgot how many. There's 5 stones. I forgot what they all are. Time, power, mind, heart, earth, wind, water, Captain Planet.
And then the second stinger at the end of the credits, because there's always 2. Dakota stood up at the first one. She's like, okay, we can go now. I was like, what are you, new?
Sit down, young one. Is it Star Trek? I think Star Trek Beyond didn't have a stinger at the end. It's like that felt like unnatural because we're so used to them now.
Yeah, I kind of like them because you get to look at the funny names.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get to listen to the soundtrack too. You used to get out of there. It's like, gotta beat the crowd. It's like everybody's leaving. There's gonna be traffic. Just sit down anyways.
Yeah.
So what was the second stinger?
So the second stinger is Mordo, I think his name is, the second in command guy who was like a good guy throughout the entire first movie. He at the end of this movie, he's like...
Wait, which movie?
This movie, the Doctor Strange movie. He's the second.
Okay.
He's the second in command. He's played by the bounty hunter in Serenity.
He's not a bounty hunter. He's an agent.
Agent. I'm thinking the
show. Get it right. Get it right.
So he's an agent in Serenity, and he plays the same kind of good, like, he he plays a serious character so well. Like
He's very eloquent.
with that dry sense of humor. It's fantastic. So throughout this movie, you get to see his arc completely, which is fantastic. Like, he's a good guy, and then, like, near the end of the movie, he finds out that the Grand Master's siphoning black energy from the dark world to
That
stay alive.
Bitch.
And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you're breaking the rules. How the fucking bill always comes due, man. And then at the end of the movie, he sees Doctor Strange, break the rules again. And he's like, fuck it. I like, voting for Hillary Clinton. I can't do this shit. I see the corruption. I can't be a part of it. And he's out. So, at the very end, the second stinger is him coming around, and he walks up to the guy who healed his own back in the very beginning of the movie, who kind of set the whole thing in motion of him coming to the faraway land and all that. Mm-hmm. He's like, there's unnatural sorcerers out there, and y'all need to be dealt with, and fucking siphons off his magic, breaks his back again. So now he's bad. He's like, there's too many fucking magic people around.
So the dude who was good, the sidekick, became bad.
Yes.
Huh, okay.
But, like, because he's seen the good side breaking the fucking rules. So
the moral of the story is don't break the rules.
So basically,
if everybody else is breaking the rules, break them better than everybody else.
but basically, he's going to be a stickler of the rules. We are a land of fucking rules, and there's too many of you breaking the fucking rules. So I'm taking you out.
All right. So this movie, this is like straight up legit magic, right? Because what they've sort of set up in the Marvel movies is, especially when it comes to Thor and everything, 'cause in the comics they are the actual Asgardian gods from mythology, and they do use magic. But in the Marvel movies, there is
say it's technology
no magic. Yeah, it's technology we don't understand. So they're just aliens. So I mean, is this like actually true magic, or is this still some sort of technology that we don't understand?
So as near as I can tell, it is magic to some degree. I mean, they do throw a little bit of science in there where your mind is taking the energy from all universes to make like these portals.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense, Thor's little cameo, because obviously Asgard is the most magical of what we have for Marvel guys right now. So.
Yeah. But it does have a lot of very Harry Potter elements, like his cape is kind of alive and like moves around on its own, has its own sentience. So it's definitely very
That's weird.
magic. It's magic.
Does he have a hat that tells him what classroom to go to?
No, but I wouldn't put it past him. It does have its very Harry Potter-esque moments.
Starkle Humple House.
Oh, there's a wicked cool part where he's in a house and there's like these dials on the windows, and he has to touch one to like the windows all have a different scene. One's like a rainforest, one's a desert, one's something else. He turns the dial and he opens up the window, and the fucking chair just like gusts wind at you, so it's like you're opening the window and it just fucking blows on you. It was fantastic. I was like, ooh. And like at one point he's in the fight, right? So the chair's knocking you all around during the fight. Your cat just jumped in here.
Somebody's in the closet with me.
So the chair's knocking you all around, punching you in the butt, punching in the back. It's blowing air at you, and then all of a sudden someone gets knocked towards those dials, and it spins to the rainforest, and the window opens up, and it fucking shoots water at you.
The chair shoots water?
The chair shoots water at you. I was like,
Damn.
oh, God. When he goes to India and Nepal, like, it goes...
Smells like curry?
Yeah, it does. It goes... It just releases this curry smell. I was like, I think the fucking chair just farted. Change its diet.
So Aaron gives us a pretty high rating. I'm not gonna see it most likely in theaters, but
you gotta see it, man. It's a Marvel.
I don't know
movie.
when I'm gonna have time to go see it. It's like I reserve going to the movies for like movies that I really, really want to see on the big screen. But you're kind of selling me on the 4D, so I'm very interested in that.
You're like what, 2 exits away from Randolph? Fucking just go see it in 4D. You can't go with the kids, so just go like with you and Izzy, or just go with you. I'll definitely go again if I get some money soon. So like it was such a cool ride. to be on.
Yeah, it sounds good. I know you've been saying that you want to see Rogue One in that.
I will.
and-
This has changed.
and
my
what
opinion.
I'm afraid of is like it'll take me out of Rogue One. I want to focus on the movie and take it in, but like I almost feel like will this be too much to like and ruin the experience?
I don't think so. I mean, you're gonna
Is it
see-
something like you should see it like the like regular way first and then see it like this or something?
I mean, I definitely say 2 viewings are necessary, but I think the 4D one should come first.
I don't know. I got to test the 4D before I
But
before I put my Star Wars in it.
Well, I think you should this is one of the biggest blockbusters before Rogue One, both by Disney, Marvel is Disney, so it kind of is the same thing. This is going to be the ride to test it on before you buy the tickets for Rogue One.
Yeah, and it's nothing else is really coming out. Although the only other thing that's coming out before Rogue One that I know I'm gonna go see is that Disney movie, the Polynesian one, like Manoa,
Not in
whatever
4D,
it is.
and you can't go with your kid anyway in 4D. 'cause
She's tall enough.
41 inches. I don't know. That's like 5 feet.
It's not 5 feet. 41 inches is just shy of 4 feet.
Okay. Well, anyway. I don't think the Polynesian Disney movie is the one to go see in 4D. I think it should
don't
be the
know.
Marvel action
They'll
movie.
spray seawater in your face and you smell tuna.
Either way, I'm definitely telling you, go practice, go see how it is with this one, because it's definitely a ride for sure, 100%. That'll show you that this is absolutely how you want to watch Star Wars, because you're going to see Star Wars at least 5 times. You know.
It's true. That's
But-
true.
This one has the potential to like make it something new. Like we watched the last one in IMAX. This one brings IMAX and motion.
Because I don't really like 3D movies. So, but this whole the smell-o-vision and the moving chair, they're added things that sound interesting.
Exactly.
And those things aren't going to go away. Like why I don't like 3D is it goes away after the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Yep.
So obviously a chair spinning around and spitting in your face is not going to go away. All right, we're towards the end of the podcast here. Real quick before we leave for the night, we saw today the first like official cinematic trailer of Mass Effect Andromeda. Apparently, it's N7 Day today. Like
It is? Oh yeah.
yeah,
Happy
Mass Effect
N7
Day,
Day.
essentially. So yeah, so they released the trailer. They put up the website for the Andromeda Initiative. What do you think?
I think it looks amazing.
It does. It does. It's all cinematics. There's no gameplay, but they've shown like
They show like a tech demo that kind of
yeah, we saw that, and that was like a few months ago, and that still looked damn good.
Yeah.
So we're getting a little more of the idea of the plot. It definitely, I don't know how long after Mass Effect 3 this takes place, but I guess it's gonna take
600
place-
years in the future.
No, the trip is gonna take 600 years. So the game's probably going to start at some point after Mass Effect 3, and then you start playing 600 years in the future after you arrive in Andromeda.
Yeah.
So, but again, I'm a huge fan and stickler of timelines and chronology. So I'm just really interested to see how long it is after the third game when this game starts, because that'll just be cool and interesting. And I went through the website that you sent me where you can sign up for the Andromeda Initiative, and I'm guessing they send you new videos every week or whatever until it comes out, or every month.
They have like
but-
6 initiatives that they're gonna have. But the first one was just watch the welcome to the initiative, and that was like 1. So
yeah.
there's 5 more of those, and you get like a cool helmet or something to use in the game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how
The first of many downloads.
Yep.
Thank you, EA.
Yep. So it looks really cool. There was like an extra video of like someone explaining to you the trip and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
I found one thing like suspiciously interesting. On that website, they give you a timeline of human exploration of from the sailing ships, the planet, the finding the mass relays, first contact with the Mahujits is there, I'm having a brain fart. Garrus's people, and it has like a timeline of everything, and then it completely skips the events of the first 3 Mass Effect games, and then goes, and then the Andromeda Initiative. So I'm like, why did you deliberately skip, like, in universe, the most important, like, part of, like, the most important events in galactic history? I just found that kind of interesting.
I wonder if they do skip it. I wonder if it was shipped out before the events of Mass Effect took place, so they don't even know that took place.
Nah, I doubt it. That's not the impression that I get. I'd be very surprised if they did that.
It was removed from history.
Everybody nearly died from giant squid robots, and it didn't
Reaper
happen.
Shepard wiped it off the digital computers, so no one could know.
Because Oceania has always been our friend.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
If you laugh.
The game what they've shown of the game looks good. And as it's March of next spring, it will be out, and we're gonna play it despite of our fears of EA, and you're gonna hear a lot from us either way. So this has been episode
Mass
10.
Effect 1 through 3.
Yes, you do. Me too.
Again, for the 9th time.
Yay, Commander Shepard. I am the Shepherd. So this has been episode 10. We hope you enjoyed. Maybe you'll go see movies in 4D now. If it's on the verge of swaying me, maybe it swayed you. If you do, let us know on Facebook, Twitter, or on our website where you can leave comments or email. Let us know what you think about the 4D. I want to hear people's feedback because you are the only person that I know that's done this, that's tried this.
I'm the only stupid asshole that would pay
Yes.
this much money for something for a movie.
Absolutely. So if you watch anything in 4D, let us know. I want to hear some feedback. You can listen to all of our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, or you can go to our website, modernretrocast.com, and you can hear the whole archive there. Leave comments, rate us, leave feedback. We want to hear all your stuff. You can email anything to us at modernretrocast@gmail.com. And that's it. Have a good night.
Good night.
You will not stop me. Control. You are short-sighted. Direct control. Direct control. Face your annihilation, Asari. I will great biotic potential. Death and annoyance. Limited utility. I am unstoppable. You prolong the inevitable. Your death is assured. Embrace perfection. You cannot stop us, Shepard. You are bacteria. You cannot stop us, Shepard. Your minions have failed. You cannot stop us, Shepard. This form is redundant. You cannot stop us, Shepard. We will end you. Your attack is an insult. You cannot resist. Your allies have fallen. I know you feel this. Do not die. I always survive. I am Harbinger. I am Harbinger. You cannot stop. I am the Harbinger of your perfection.
Uranus.
Assuming control.